Oh boy, what's going on, everybody? It's BucosLocker. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel. You gotta share the videos too now. You know what I'm talking about? Welcome. Happy Sunday. Daylight savings time. I hate that. Gotta set the clocks forward. Not ready for that type of work. Bright and early, about to get my day started. I had slept in. Days, wipe my face here. Hold on a second. Yeah. Wipe my face here on this Sunday. What's up, you wish? We got some things to talk about today. Told y'all I'm dropping videos. Hey, look, free agency. Didn't I tell y'all? Didn't I tell y'all? Told y'all. You dropping these videos right around when NFL gets a little interesting. What up, Jonathan? What up, Cody? We're gonna address some things today. One of the realest channels out there, boy. I don't cut no corners. Whether I hurt your feelings or not. Shouts out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. Let's get it in. Y'all know what it is. Wait, what? Where are you going to be tomorrow when this news break with Deshaun Watson? Where are you going to be when the news break where Deshaun Watson goes? Now, no matter where he goes, I'm going to do a video. Now, of course, if he goes to the Bucs, or we going to do we doing locker room talk. Let's just say that. If he comes to the Bucs, we are doing a locker room talk. I am going to immediately have the locker room open. The locker room hasn't been open since over a month now. Or 2 months, I guess. The locker room is getting cleaned up. You know what I'm saying? It's chilling, But trust and believe. If Jason Light can pull this trade off, man, oh man. Now, not saying that it's 100% done. But all I'm saying is if he can pull it off. You know what I'm saying? If he can pull it off, that's all I'm going to say. Because we will be set for the next 5 to 7 to 10 years, We know the door number 2 thing, right? But things are heating up now. And don't forget, as you come into the locker room or as you come into this live stream, make sure you like the video. Things are heating up. Ian Rappaport. Now, the thing about the media, NFL media, they can be hit and miss. Now, there is a small group of media members you kind of want to pay attention to. I don't pay attention to a mass group of media members, but there's a couple, Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport. They can be off sometimes too, right? They're not perfect, but they're probably the best ones that you kind of want to follow. And then you can take your thought process from that, because none of us are behind the scenes. No matter what we say, no matter what we feel, we're not behind the scenes. Those guys are insiders, right? We're just fans. We speculate. We have opinions. We have disagreements. But as long as there's respect amongst people and not going to the name calling, you don't have to like somebody's, opinion or thought about a situation, but just respect it. And when you start disrespecting and start hating, then I can't rock with you. You know what I'm saying? Like I respect all Bucs fans. But you kind of want to pay attention to a couple of media members because they're pretty decent. They're not 100% right all the time, but they're pretty good, and they've been doing it for years. And I do take what they say into huge consideration. Like I really be like, oh, Ian Rappaport, Adam Schefter, those 2 guys, they've been in the game for a while. I'm like, okay. And I take what they say and I read some of the comments in their, under the post or whatever. And I take it for what I think about football. Remember, I'm just a fan, just like you. So what you say and I say really don't matter. Because now we're just basically arguing. So let's not try to argue. If you make a point, I'm not going to argue with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. I'm not confrontational. You know what I'm saying? So with this Deshaun Watson situation, you know what I'm saying? We are on the list. Like I said before, we're on the list, but we're not the only team. I made a post about that on Facebook and got some good feedback. And of course, I got a a little trolling here and there, but that comes with the territory. Trolls come, they be fishing. It gets weird. You know what I'm saying, when people start saying ridiculous stuff and not they get away from football or they'll talk about football and they just start trying to take shots at you. Just ignore that. So even in these comment sections, just try not to get involved with that. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm not for the arguing on Facebook. So you can try, but it ain't gonna work. But shouts out to you haters and trolls though. I got a channel and you don't. So you're more than welcome to start your own channel. If you don't like what I say, start your own channel. Right? So and go watch yourself. But Deshaun Watson, we're on the list, by the way. Are we number one on the list? I don't know. In my opinion, I don't think so. But the key is at least you're on the list. I think that's you got invited to the party. I think that's what's I think that's what's most important too. Being on the list, we've been invited to the Deshaun Watson party, right? We are a special guest. It's like college recruiting, right? And the signing day, right? When the recruits sit there with that cap and everything, and it could be a special. This Deshaun situation could be an NFL special. Where is Deshaun Golden, right? Where is Waldo, right? Where in the world is San Diego? If those of you that's old school that remember that, nobody knows. Speculation, Bucs fans saying Bucs, other people saying Vikings and Browns and Saints and Panthers and Steelers and all these fan bases are putting their bids in, right? But nobody really knows what's going to happen. Probably the most intriguing I think this information is going to be bigger than the Russell Wilson going to the Broncos, because Deshaun Watson can change the landscape, especially in the NFC South. There are 3 teams in the NFC South that are looking at Deshaun Watson. That's the Bucs, the Panthers, and the Saints. And I'm not even talking about teams outside of the NFC South. I'm just specifically talking about the team division. Whoever gets Deshaun Watson in the NFC South pretty much is number one. Let's just keep it 100 as far as quarterback. And we all know you got to have a dog at quarterback. Game managers, that's cool, that's cute. They get you 7, 8, 9, 10 wins, but that's not going to get you over the hump. There is some exceptions, but the exceptions don't make the rule. See how that works? But people are like, well, you can win with the game manager. I said you couldn't. But when you want to get to the next level, you need a dog. Well, you can win Super Bowls with game managers. Okay, let's go down the list. You see what I'm saying? And Deshaun Watson, I got him as a dog. He got the traits of a dog, because if you look at Deshaun Watson and look at Blaine Gabbert and Kyle Trask, Baker Mayfield, the team, the quarterbacks that the Bucs have done extensive research, according to, I'm pretty sure the Bucs have done research about who they should get. I know they talk about Blaine Gabbert and Kyle Trask, but I'm sure they've looked at other quarterbacks. I'm pretty sure they even looked at Kirk Cousins. But when you look at all those other quarterbacks and you look at Deshaun Watson, none of those quarterbacks compare. And we can talk about the athleticism and the physical, traits and the arm strength and the mobility and all that stuff like that. But Deshaun Watson got dog in him. Like, it's intangible, right? Because you got the tangibles and then you got the intangible. Trask, not trash. Deshaun Watson got some dog in him. And you need a dog to be at the upper echelon of teams. What you don't want to become is the middle of the road. Like you either bad or you're really good. Because if you middle of the road, then you're not going anywhere. You don't want to become the Falcons, right? Middle of the road, you're not expected to compete. You're just there. There's a lot of teams like that. Then you got the really bad teams, but they finna get high draft picks. So you got to pick a side. So if the Bucs get Deshaun Watson, the Bucs go to the upper echelon. They stay in the upper echelon. I'm sorry, they stay in the upper echelon. They don't drop off, because if you don't get Deshaun Watson and you settle for a game manager, which will keep you in the middle of the road, you're not really going anywhere. You win some games, but you're not moving the needle. And if you don't get a game manager, if you drop down to the Kyle Trask, Blaine Gabbert realm, you're at the bottom. Because you can't convince me Blaine Gabbert is going to be getting us 10 wins. You can't convince me that. There's no evidence to make me believe at this stage of his career that you insert Blaine Gabbert and he's going to get you 10 wins. Where's the evidence? Where can you back that? There is no evidence on Kyle Trask can come in and lead this team to 10, 11, 12 wins. So with one of those two guys starting, that's a drop-off. That's at least a 5-game drop-off. If that makes sense, right? By getting Deshaun Watson, that will keep you in the 11 to 14 win range for multiple years. And sometimes you got to pay to play. If that makes sense. If you want to play with the big boys, you gotta pay up. It's like gambling. This is gambling. And I'm not a gambler, but if you want to make big money, you gotta put it out there. Because if you start nickel and diming and winning a little bit here and there, but at the end, you ain't winning nothing. You just playing around. You just messing around with chips. So if the Bucs want to play with the big boys, you got to pay up. Now, what's the cost of getting Deshaun Watson? It ain't gonna be cheap. I know some of y'all are probably saying, "Oh, 2 first rounders and a 3rd rounder," because the Texans don't have no leverage. It ain't the same, and I hear you, but I'm just going by what I believe. It ain't gonna be cheap. And if you think you could just give up 3 picks and 1 player, and you don't think other teams are going to give up more than you, this is the thing about it. The Bucs have a chance to get Deshaun Watson, but the competition, we're not the only team on the list. The Saints and the Panthers they put in offers. The Saints and the Panthers put in offers. What does that tell you? They got the base of what they want to give up. Now, the reports haven't came out as far as what they give up, but they put an offer in, and I can guarantee you this. I don't know about the Panthers, but me living in New Orleans, they're going to give up a lot. They're not giving up a little bit. They're not giving up 2 for a 3rd rounder, and that's it. No. I got an idea what they're about to give up. But that's neither here nor there. But 2 teams have put a bid in already. So if you think Jason Light is just going to give up 2 first rounders, a 3rd rounder, and Cam and Brate, you don't think the Saints and the Panthers can top that? You see the Saints roster, right? Especially on defense. You see the Carolina Panthers defense? They got some young studs over there. And they got C-Mac. So if you think just 4 picks or 4 players total, that means players and picks, is going to be enough to get Deshaun Watson, you out of your mind. Some got to go out there and go get it. At the end of the day. Because I can tell you this from the standpoint, the Carolina Panthers not playing around. The Carolina Panthers are not playing around. I'm gonna go check out their channels and see what they're talking about. I like to keep my ear to the NFC South, floor to see what's going on, and what they're talking about. But the Carolina Panthers, Dave Tepper, the owner over there, he ain't playing. And then you got these dark horse teams like the Seahawks, the Vikings, the Colts. The Panthers not playing. It would not be surprised if the Panthers give up 7, 8, 9 players. And they have the players to do it. They have some attractive pieces on that roster. And they got high picks. They can give up 3 first rounders, 2 seconds, and 3 players. They don't mind doing that. And they can, and one of the players can be, and I'm pretty sure the Texans will love to take C-Mac. They'll take C-Mac. Christian McCaffrey, by the way. And also I was just strolling through and reading some of the conversations on Twitter and stuff, and I get mixed. There's a lot of confusion here on fan side, right? Because no matter what fan base you talk to, it just seems like that fan base feels like they're the only one on the list. Now, what people get things confused is, oh, the no trade clause. Well, he has to approve the trade. That is correct. Absolutely, you are absolutely correct. Everybody understands that part. But here's the thing. Is it really that easy? Because on surface level, it looks easy to us. Surface level, oh, he has no trade clause, so he can go where he want to go. Is that how the NFL really works? Or, and then you start pointing out some things where there's exceptions to the rule, but the rule don't make the norm. This is not a normal case. This is an exception. These typical situations don't come around a lot, especially with a quarterback at this caliber. Now, he has a list of teams. So when we say no trade clause, that means there are teams that he's not going to go to, that he already told them, you can't send me there. You can't send me. I'm not going there. I'm not accepting that trade. Because think about it. There's 2 scenarios here. There's only 2 scenarios here. The Texans can keep him, which that'd be a huge mistake, and just keep paying him, and he's just being a distraction on the roster. Or the Texans can trade him to one of the teams that he's listed. Now we're going back to the no trade clause. Well, he don't have to go to that team. That is correct. But what if it's one of the teams that he listed that he is interested in going to? So that no trade clause thing, you got to be careful with that. Don't get too caught up into that, because I'm not going to play for 31 teams. I only want to play for that team. That's not what that's not what this no trade clause is putting out. That's why I stress that he has a list of teams. Do you understand that part? Because if you think the Bucs are the only team that he's interested in, man, you got to be tripping. Because you got to think about it. You eliminate 95% of the teams, right? That he don't want to go to. He's already told him that. These are the teams that I'm interested in. Oh, see what they're talking about. See what their future is. What the roster is going to look like. Get a feel for the coaching staffs. Then once he does his his dog and pony show with these teams, then he goes back to the Texans. They sit down. Now remember, it's a no trade clause, but they still got to talk. Both sides got to talk. It ain't just a one-sided deal like y'all think it is. It ain't just, Deshaun Watson go wherever he wants to go. No. That's not how business works. If you know anything about business, just a simple business 101, you just can't do what you want to do. Business does not work like that, especially at that level. The ROI has to be on both sides. Both sides got to get return on investment, right? So if Deshaun Watson goes to one of the teams on his list, that means he sees the ROI midterm and long term. This is not a short-term thing for Deshaun Watson, so he has to understand, I can't put myself in a situation where I only want to go to one team. That's why he's going to talk to multiple teams. This is why I say the Bucs are not the only team on the list that he's interested in. He's got to be smart about this. It will be a dumb business decision for Deshaun Watson to just say, I'm not playing for 31 teams. I only want to play for one. Everything is a factor. Because look at the situation Deshaun Watson just came out of. For a whole year, it's been negative. Even he didn't get convicted. Even if the criminal charges are not being pursued, but there's still negativity around him. So now you got to factor that in as well. So from a business perspective, because remember, he got to rebuild his image. So he has to be very careful of how he moves with this no trade clause. I go where I want to go. Because if that's the case, then he could have easily came out and said, I don't want to play for nobody but the Bucs. He could have just easily did that. But he didn't. Well, he can cover it up by giving a list of multiple teams. Do you want to play games like that, Deshaun Watson? Do you think Deshaun Watson going to play games like that? Oh, I'm going to list 4 or 5 additional teams, but I really want to play for one team. It's bad business. It's not how it works. Remember, I'm going to keep telling y'all this. It's 2 sides. It's the Texans and the Deshaun Watson, and both sides have to be under agreement. Now, the worst case scenario is the Texans don't have to trade Deshaun Watson. They can be like, okay, well, we're not going to trade you there because they're not giving us what we want. This is why he just can't pick just one team. I'm going to stress this no trade clause thing. It's not a one-sided deal when it comes to this no trade clause thing. I'm telling y'all. I'm not an insider by I'm just a little old bitty channel. But I'm just telling y'all from a negotiation business perspective, this is not a one-sided deal. This is not what Deshaun Watson has the upper hand. He's under contract with the Texans. This can get ugly. Both sides understand the breakup needs to happen, but business is very important on how this ends. This ain't about just Deshaun Watson. See, a lot of people think, oh, the no trade clause gives Deshaun Watson the upper hand. But the Texans got to approve it too. This is why I say he just can't say, I only want to go to one team. I'm only interested in one team. He just can't do that. Because if that's the case, then why go through all this? Why go through the dog and pony show and lead everybody on, other organizations on, to only at the end of the day say, well, I always wanted to play for them? Because if that's the case, then the Texans can just work with the Bucs. If you believe the Bucs are the only team he wants to play for, then why not just deal strictly with the Bucs and they work it out? You want to know that? You want to know why that's not the case? Because there are multiple teams that he likes, that he sees. He likes the roster, he likes the coaching staff, and he's like, Now here's the key word: he likes the situation. Now, until he sits down and talks to the coaches, the OCs, and even the DC, the owner, the GM, and all that stuff like that, he's gonna come back. He's gonna look at the Texans. He's gonna be like, I like these situations. And then the Texans, on their behalf, they got to go negotiate with every single team on Watson's list. And who's going to give the best package. No matter how you feel, whether he comes to the Bucs, Panthers, Saints, whoever else, whoever gives the best deal off the list of his teams, the Texans are going to do this. Okay, Bucs, what y'all want to give up? Okay, Panthers, what y'all want to give up? Okay, Saints, what y'all want to give up? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, in the other teams that's on his list. And then the Texans are going to go back and be like, okay, they're going to look at Deshaun Watson. They're going to be like, well, this team give us the best deal, and this is one of the teams that you're interested in. We're going to go with it. The Texans are in no shape to be like, here's the thing, on two sides. The Texans are in no shape, way, or form to be like, they can't be picky. Deshaun Watson gave him a list. Deshaun Watson gave them a list. Here you go. And obviously the Panthers and Saints are on the list. And then there's some pros and cons for each team. No team is perfect whatever team he goes to, it won't be perfect. If that makes sense. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna add this to it. Each team that's on the list has a flaw. Midterm, long term. Because remember, what people are also not talking about is Deshaun Watson's contract. Now, I'm not a cap guru. I'm not John Spivak or these other GMs. I'm not a cap guru, but I did look at his numbers. There is an out in 2024 that you can renegotiate and lessen that cap hit in 2024. But if you go to them cap sites, they break it down for you. Now, if you want to go into the cap details and all that, look, by all means, go to those cap websites. They'll give you the definition down and all this stuff like that. If you really want to get into that side of the NFL, I'm not into that side of the NFL, but I understand the basics. So if you ridicule me and come at me about, oh, you don't know nothing about the cap, I don't. I'm not a cap beast. But I do understand the basics of it, though. Everything has a base foundation of it. If you go look at the numbers for Deshaun Watson, they ain't cheap. He won't. That contract is pretty big. Now that's the market. Now, actually, if you look at the market now, the market's going up. So if you was to sign Deshaun Watson, whoever signs Deshaun Watson, more than likely they're gonna have to renegotiate or extend him in 2024. Like give him a new contract, add some extension years to lessen the cap hit. Like the Chiefs did with Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes' cap really don't start to affect the Chiefs. I believe it's 2024, I believe. So you can finagle the cap in a way where your biggest percentage of the cap don't really come into effect until, a couple of years from now. Because what you try to do is because cap supposed to go up. So what you do is the reason why you extend or add void years, because the cap goes up. So the further you can push that contract back, the better it is for your team in the short term. Right? But eventually, you don't lose money unless they ask you to take a pay cut. All you're doing is pushing the money down the road, and you spread it out over the extension of the years, or you can add void years to it. Or you give more guarantee money up front. And you can spread that guarantee money out over multiple years. Then you got your sign-on bonus, right? The roster bonuses. Every year at March 14th, if you're on the roster, you get $17 million. You know what I'm saying? You can work the cap out. But understand the money ain't going nowhere. So the Bucs can sign Deshaun Watson, but I'm pretty sure Jason Light gonna have to move some contracts around. Donovan Smith, Shaq Barrett, Mike Evans, sign Chris Godwin to an extension, push that money down and spread it out over the years. Vita Vea's already done it. And then you gave Devin White, you picked up his 5th-year option. Are you going to extend him to push the money down the road? And then a couple years from now, you got Tristian Wirfs and Antonie Winfield Jr. By that time, the cap will be higher than what it is now. But you get my point. I'm not going to go on to the cap stuff, but you get my point. The Bucs can take on Deshaun Watson. They just got to make some moves with the money, which can be done. Go look at the roster. 2024. Go look at the cap for 2024. Go look at who's under cap for the Bucs in 2024. They can make the move. They can renegotiate Deshaun Watson's contract and give him some extension years. But this all depends on if the Bucs get him. That's the question. And I know everybody's on their I know everybody. Look, the Bucs community, with the Tom Brady situation, it was crazy, right? Everybody's, oh yeah, Buck, arguing and stuff. The same thing is happening with this situation. A lot of Bucs fans are arguing amongst each other. A lot of Bucs fans want him, right? And there's some Bucs fans that don't want him because of the allegations that he got cleared of. And even though he wasn't proven guilty, but he's guilty in some of the Bucs fans' eyes. Even though the legal process proved, and they spent over a year with this, proved that he's not guilty. Even though the legal process that was set in this place, in this country, to facilitate criminal activity, went through the process, long drawn out over a year, not proven, not proceeding with criminal charges. There's not enough evidence, whatever the case may be. People still going to believe he is guilty. Mind you, if he comes to the Bucs, now you got that crowd, the crowd that's not going to be behind the Bucs. You got that group of, a big group of Bucs fans, but they're gonna say negative stuff every chance they get about Deshaun Watson. Anytime we lose a game, if Deshaun Watson throws an interception or takes a sack or throws a fumble, that crowd is going to be negative. Every fan base has this. They got that small group. They got that small group of fans that just are not going to like the player that's coming in with that type of background, which is understandable. I get it, because you're looking at integrity and ethics, morals. I get it. You stand on that, and then you're supposed to. But you went behind the scenes of this allegations that were put up against Deshaun Watson. You don't know. You didn't see the evidence. You didn't know the conversations. You wasn't there throughout the process. All you did was just read some articles, like the rest of us did. I mean, as a Bucs fan base, we had a quarterback like that. Jameis Winston. Even before Jameis Winston, Josh Freeman. But his stuff wasn't criminal, but he was out doing drugs and stuff like that. Then Jameis Winston came along, and you see what happened with him, with the grouping situation back in 2016. People still bring it up to this day. 6 years removed from that, people will still bring it up. Even the stuff that was happening back at Florida State, the right in the P, what he shouted out in the cafeteria, they still bring it up. No criminal charges, none of that stuff. Guilty by association, or guilty because I believe he did it. So Deshaun Watson coming to the Bucs would not be in open arms by the entire Bucs community, right? So just be prepared to, because if you say anything good about Deshaun Watson, just be prepared to defend that, because they're going to come and they're going to make negative comments. It's already happening now. Now, I want y'all to understand this part as a channel on YouTube, on the social media platform. I'm all for Deshaun Watson. The minute if the Bucs can pull this off, if Jason Light and Bruce Arians and John Spipe, they can pull this off, I'm on my laptop waiting immediately. That will be the first jersey I wear. Well, it's going to be hard to get that, but you get my point. I'm going to find a way to get that jersey, because I know he's going to be here for a while. And the speculation, it's I know it's nerve-wracking. I know it's annoying as heck, but none of this is going to go away until he's signed to whatever team. None of this is going away, folks. This is going to stick around until he signs. So I don't expect this to be a long, drawn-out situation. Now, the Texans don't have to rush this. They don't have to rush it. That's why I be trying to tell people, Deshaun Watson has the upper hand. He has the leverage, and he has the total control. Not as you think it would be. And if I'm not mistaken, somebody said it in the chat room here. The Texans got to approve the trade. Now, I in my opinion, I think by this Friday coming up, he'll be somewhere. So anytime from tomorrow until this Friday, he gonna be gone somewhere. Where? Who knows? Speculation at this point. You can put the pieces to the puzzle all you want to, and I can put the pieces to the puzzle together. That doesn't mean it's going to happen. Because so if you want Deshaun Watson's here, if you want Deshaun Watson to the Bucs, I'm with you. I'm with you. Trust me, we on the same page. We might not have the same path, or we might not agree on how he gets here. But trust me, the end goal, we still on the same page. And remember, we still a family, supposedly, right? Bucs fan base, we're a part of the same community, we're part of the same fans. We don't have to agree, but as long as we agree with the end goal. Now, I can make my opinions about what it could take to get Deshaun Watson, but yeah, so I don't know what happened with that. But the end goal is for Deshaun Watson to get here. You know, like I said, we don't have to agree how he gets here or what it is going to take to give up for Deshaun Watson. But you know, as long as he get here, you know, look, if we give up a lot of players and picks, so what? He's here, and we'll figure it out. You know, as a fan base, we'll figure it out. If the Bucs can just give up 3 first-rounders and you know, a second and a third, or 3 first-rounders, a second and Cameron Brady, no matter what, I'm with you. Get him here. Go with the best offer. Be the best offer. Be the offer that the Texans gonna be like, you know what? The Bucs on your list, right, Deshaun? All right, pull the trigger. Let's not get this confused. Let's not become a chaotic fan base on how Deshaun Watson gets here. Because we all want, well, most of us want Deshaun Watson here, right? Now, how he gets here remains to be seen. I got my opinions on it. You know, no disrespect to your opinion. Agree to disagree. I think that the Bucs got to give up a lot. Some of us believe that he don't have to give up. We don't have to give up much. Some of us believe, it just takes about 3 picks. I don't agree with that. You know, if you believe that it'll take 3 picks in a player, cool. And I believe it takes 8 players. Why are you mad at me? Because we both want Deshaun Watson here. And that's the goal. So let's not get mad at each other or troll or get in your feelings, because I really don't care. You know, facts over feelings. You know, but the fact of the matter is, we as a fan base, most of us want him here. Let's not get caught up in how you feel about what somebody says. If I say 8 players at a minimum, what's the problem? You want Deshaun Watson here, right? And you say 4 players, cool. You want Deshaun Watson here, right? Yeah. Cool. What the issue is just we just don't agree with the capital that you got to give up. That's the problem. So you don't need to get, the Bucs fans don't need to get mad at each other because we don't agree with what's it going to take to give up to get Deshaun Watson, because we both on the same page at the end. I'm just sometimes, you know, Bucs fans tend to get a little bit emotional when you say something that they don't like, even if it's something that you basically on the same page with. It's just what you saying. I don't like it. What are we doing here? Come on, man. Like, so I gave my opinion on the situation. I gave my opinion, you know, on what it takes. You know, what it takes to get Watson, a quarterback of his caliber. You know, the Broncos gave up quite a bit. And the situation's different. I'm just saying, we're talking about a 26-year-old quarterback. Just touching his prime. and you don't think he's worth the capital? Top 7 quarterback? And you think it's just going to take 3 or 4 picks? Or picks and players? When you got the Panthers and the Saints and possibly the Seahawks and God knows whoever else willing to give up more than you? Goes back to what I said. If you want to play with the big boys, you better have some ammunition just in case. Because you might not need it. You might only need 4 players total. 3 picks and a player. You might just need that. But then again, the Bucs need to make sure that they got the ammunition, 7, 8 players ready. That's picks and draft. That's draft picks and players. You better have your ammunition at your disposal. Because it's a bidding war. You really believe it's going to take 4 players? That's it? 3 first rounders and Cam and Brake? Do you really believe that? When you got the Carolina Panthers is making it known. The Carolina Panthers is making it known. We want Deshaun Watson. And if you know anything about Dave Tepper, billionaire, that man like, look, Matt Rule, Teddy Bridgewater and Sam Darnold ain't going to cut it. The word ain't. Not going to cut it. Cam Newton not going to cut it. Do what you got to do to get Deshaun Watson. That's basically what Dave Tepper said to Matt Rule. Or you're out of here. If Matt Rule don't get Deshaun Watson, he out of there. He knows that. Dave Tepper has literally put a flame to Matt Rule's feet and said, if you don't get Deshaun Watson, I'll let you coach. I don't even think Matt Rule make it through the season if you don't get Deshaun Watson. Oh, you don't think the heat is on Matt Rule? See, the heat is not on Bruce Arians. The heat is not on Dennis Allen and Mike Tomlin and Nick Sirianni and Pete Carroll. Matt Rule, the heat is on. So he gonna do what it takes. If the Bucs throw out 4 or 5 players, that's picks and players, you don't think the Panthers gonna be like, okay, we're gonna top that. We'll give you 7. Now the Bucs are in a bidding war. Remember, you better have ammunition to play against the Panthers, even the Saints. I'm doing good, man. About to get out here and skate. Nice outside. But you get what I'm saying? Don't come to the gun. Don't come to the gunfight with a pea shooter. I said that the heat is not on BA either. That's what I said that too. BA, Pete Carroll, Tomlin, Nick Sirianni, Dennis Allen. You know. But the heat is on Matt Rule. The only team on that list with the coach in question is the Carolina Panthers. The most desperate team on this list is the Carolina Panthers. No other team is desperate. Even the Bucs not desperate. Now, trust me, they're gonna do what they can to get him, but the Bucs not desperate. The Panthers is what you call a desperate team, or the Carolina Kitty Cats. They're desperate, and at all costs, they will literally give up their entire roster. If you don't think the Carolina Panthers are going to give up whatever it takes, you are out of your freaking mind. Well, Deshaun Watson can veto that trade. Why? When it's one of the teams that is on his list. Make it make sense. Well, Deshaun don't have to go to the Carolina Panthers. I'm making the case for each team. Well, isn't that one of the teams on his list? He played at Clemson, He's from Georgia, Clemson, Georgia, Carolina, South Carolina, right there by Georgia. Family can come see. We're going to trade to the Carolina Panthers. No, I don't want to go to the Panthers. Well, Deshaun, I thought that was on your list of teams that you're interested, that you like to go to. Okay, let's go to the next team. The Saints. Now, I live in this city. Been here for 5 years now. Well, going on 6 now. 6 will be in July. All right. New Orleans Saints. On the list. The Saints they're picking 18th. They got some guys under contract, young guys too, in their prime, they can give up. I'm going down the list of teams that I believe that's, and too obvious, right? Panthers and Saints. So the Saints. The Saints have some young guys, attractive guys, right? Paulson Albadebo, said Deuce, CD Deuce, or Charlie Gardner-Johnson, Davenport, Turner, Kamara, Thomas, Lattimore. They have some pieces, all on defense. You got Michael Thomas sitting on offense, Kamara, Ryan Ramczyk. Give up a couple first round picks, a couple seconds, and throw about 2 of those guys on that plate. Why not? Well, I don't want to go to the Saints. Well, wait a minute. I thought the Saints was on your list, Deshaun Watson. Okay, Tampa Bay Bucs. All right, so is it the Bucs? Yeah. I'm looking at the Bucs too. Cool. All right, Tampa. What's up? Okay, we'll give you a couple first. Okay, what else? A couple seconds, or a second and a third. Okay, that's 5. Okay, cool. We want like two players, maybe 3. All right, cool. So who are you looking at? Texans looking at the Bucs roster. Okay, Winfield Jr., Devin White, Vita, Tristian Wrifs. Donovan Smith. I don't know about Donovan Smith. He's not young. We want 2 young guys. Joe Tryon. A couple firsts, a couple later round picks, and 2 players. I'm pretty sure they're gonna want some young guys on rookie contracts. All right, who next? I didn't do the Panthers breakdown. Panthers. All right, Dave Tepper, what you got? Because Deshaun lists you on, got you on his list. What you got for us? All right, well, we got a couple firsts. We picking high in the draft, so we got this year's first. You can have this year's second, and 2 more first. So we have 4 picks? We could throw in the 3rd or 4th, so that's 6 picks, right? 5 picks. I'm sorry, 5 picks. All right, what about your players? We want some young players. How about some young players? We get a couple of young players. All right, so we got Jeremy Chin, Brian Burns, Derek Brown, C-Mac, J.C. Horn. You want 2 of those guys? DJ Moore, C-Mac, Tristan McCaffrey. And that's the Bucs, Saints, and the Panthers. Do you really believe the Texans they want players on their 2nd or 3rd contract? I'm pretty sure the Texans are going to want some young guys. And you most likely going to have to give up 2 of those guys. So when this trade happens, I'm very curious to see, when the details come out, what young guys do you give up? What young guys, whatever team trades for Watson, I want to see the young guys they give up. I'm very curious on that part. Draft picks, I kind of got an idea with the draft picks, but I'm very curious to see the players that's given up. Is it going to be one or two young guys with a veteran guy? Or is it going to be three young guys? Is it going to be two young guys? Or is it going to be one young guy and two veterans? I'm more interested in the players giving up than the actual draft picks, because I already know that you're going to have to give up at least 4 draft picks. However combination you spend that. 4 or 5 draft, maybe 6 draft picks. I would say about 4 or 5 draft picks would be like kind of like where you're starting at. Draft picks, not talking about players, just draft picks. Oh, I forgot about it. Let me go back to the Bucs. You got Murphy Button, Jamel Dean. You got Mike Edwards. So I gave y'all 3 NFC South teams. Saints, Panthers, Bucs. Now let's go to the other teams. All right, Philly. I'm just throwing it out there. I think Philly not on the list, but let's just say Philly, like, forget it, right? Philly, what you got? We got 3 first rounders this year, and I think 2 next year. We could just give you draft picks. We don't have to give up players. But no, we'll take a player. Well, we'll throw you Fletcher Cox. We're kind of done with him anyway. Or Javon Hargraves. Josh Sweat. We can throw in Darius Slay or McLeod. I mean, I don't know. One veteran player, right? We're not going to give up Devontae Smith. We'll give you Jalen Reagor. But we can give you 5 picks, though. We can give you 3 first rounders this year. 3. And we can give you 1 next year. It's 4 first rounders. We can throw in a second and 2 players. 7 people. Oh, okay. That sounds interesting. All right. Who next? Seahawks. Hey, we got a lot of picks. We just traded Russell Wilson to the Broncos. We got a ton of them. But who on your roster? Jordan Brooks? Tyler Lockett? DK Metcalf? Dwayne Brown? That's old. He played for the Texans. Rashad Penny? But we got a lot of draft picks, though. But your draft picks, you got 1 first rounder, a couple seconds, and a couple thirds. Not attractive. But we got Pete Carroll. But y'all a team in transition. Deshaun, that's what you want to go to? You interested in the Seahawks? Only if they keep locking in Metcalf. The Seahawks ain't really got nothing to really compete with. Oh, what about the Colts? They ain't got no first rounders. They got cap space, but they got no first rounders. It's getting thin out there, ain't it? What about the Steelers? Oh, well, they got Mike Tomlin. They got about $30 million in cap space. They got a couple of attractive pieces. Devin Bush. Mika Fitzpatrick. Throwing with an old D lineman, Tuitt or Haywood. Do they want to take on an old D lineman? Devin Bush. They can throw in James Washington. Do they really want to throw in Claypool, who gave them problems? Or Deontay Johnson? They'll probably throw in the Claypool because, he gave them some issues. He got some issues. Najee Harris is not touchable. They're not giving Najee Harris up, but they'll give up Claypool. Claypool got some issues. And they'll throw in some, a couple first, 3 first, a second, Claypool, Devin Bush, and a 4th rounder. What about the Minnesota Vikings? Oh, that's an attractive place. They got a lot of pieces there. They can do a swap. Kirk Cousins for Deshaun Watson. Throw in a first and a second. Daniil Hunter, because I think they're looking to get from under that contract. The new Vikings regime is looking to kind of start over. So they'll do a swap, quarterback swap with the Texans, and they'll give up a couple draft picks and then Daniil Hunter and throw in a Harrison Smith. And throw in an Adam Thielen and a third or a fourth. I'm just giving y'all something to think about. I'm just throwing things out there. Tap dancing around the league. I'm not a guru with NFL, but I kind of know what's going on around the league. Am I missing it? Or what about the Browns? Baker Mayfield, Deshaun Watson swap. Browns throwing a couple first rounders. They got a ton of people in the secondary. Denzel Ward, Greedy Williams. They got a couple safeties back there too. They got 2 running backs. Throwing a Kareem Hunt. Couple firsts, 3 firsts, couple seconds. Kareem Hunt. One of those 2 of those young players, So that was 6, 7 players right there. Total. What about the 49ers? Kyle Shanahan will love Deshaun Watson. Jimmy G for Deshaun Watson swap. Jimmy G played for the Patriots, and the Texans GM came from the Patriots regime. Nick Castro. Jimmy G was there. So the relationship with the GM and the quarterbacks are there, so you could do a Jimmy G for Deshaun Watson. That's the quarterback trade right there. Then you can do, all right, well, we can give you, what if the Texans be like, no, we want Trey Lance. We don't want Jimmy G. We want Trey Lance. I'm just throwing it out there. But anyway, just let's go with Jimmy G. All right, what else you got, 49ers? We'll give you a couple firsts. Couple seconds. Maybe a D lineman. Javon Kinlaw. We're not giving up Fred Warner. We'll give you the other guy, Greenlaw. Other linebacker, right? We're not giving up Deebo Samuels and George Kittle. We got a plethora of running backs. We're throwing Elijah Mitchell. They go your trade package right there with the 49ers. Here's a wild card. If he really about that life, which don't be, or 2 wild cards. The Raiders. Derek Carr, Deshaun Watson. Trade off right there. Throw in a couple first. Couple seconds, and the third, maybe a fifth. And throw in a couple players on the Raiders. Now I'm getting into the wild card teams that can come out of nowhere. The Raiders is one of them. I just gave y'all a package right there with the Raiders. Derek Carr, Deshaun Watson trade. Throwing a couple first, right? 3 firsts, 2 firsts, right? There's 2 firsts, a couple seconds, and a couple players on the Raiders roster. Here's another wild card team. The Cowboys. If this is we going to extreme now. Dak for Deshaun. Couple firsts. Dak, 2 firsts and a third. And a couple contracts that you don't want. You can hand them to us. But y'all take on the take half of the cap responsibility. Take on half of the contract. I'm sorry. Take on half of the contract, and we'll take DeMarcus Lawrence and Kyle Van Den Esch. That's the Cowboys package right there. If the Cowboys about that life, we're taking shots. But these are teams that can possibly do it if they really thought about it. I mean, you'll take Deshaun Watson over Dak Prescott any day, right? And you got some pieces to do it if they wanted to do it, right? If they really believe in Dak. Whatever. Somebody said the Giants. The Giants. All right. Daniel Jones. Saquon Barkley. Couple firsts. A second and a third. What we at? Couple firsts. Couple seconds. A third. Daniel Jones. Saquon Barkley. They ain't sold on Saquon Barkley. They got a couple young guys, DeMarcus Lawrence, Leonard Williams. Maybe you can throw in the James Bradbury somewhere in there as a veteran, one of the veteran guys that they might like. I literally just named, 10, 11 teams that can literally put a package out there. It all comes down to who is on his list, and you already know 2 teams. Like, it's out there, along with the Bucs, right? Well, 3 teams. But the two of them already gave an offer. The Saints and the Panthers in our division. That will be a travesty if the Panthers or the Saints get Deshaun Watson and they have him for the next 7 to 10 years. And we got to deal with that guy twice. Do you know how that would not be a good look for the Bucs? If anything, drive the price up so they can't get Deshaun Watson. Right? You might just have to outbid the Panthers and the Saints. Outbid them. Do what it takes. Because you don't want to see Deshaun Watson with the Saints. You don't want to see Deshaun Watson with the Panthers. You want to see Deshaun Watson with the Bucs. So at the end of the day, as I wrap this video up, now we have about a little over an hour now. Folks, it's going to be fun tomorrow. The tampering period starts tomorrow. That means you can agree with contracts, but it can't become official until Wednesday. See, I was right. So technically, now I get it. Free agency technically starts Wednesday, but that's when you can sign the contracts. But in actuality, you really can start tomorrow. You can have the contract in place. It doesn't become official until Wednesday. So, I'm telling y'all right now, watch how fast this Deshaun Watson stuff ends. It ain't going to stick around for long, folks. I'm telling you, by Friday this week, Deshaun Watson going to be on somebody's team. And somebody giving up something. And it won't be no 4 play. It won't be just 4 players. And the team that is willing to do whatever it takes right now is the Panthers. I'm telling you, if Panthers get Deshaun Watson, I'm very curious to see the young players that they give up. I am very curious to see who did they actually give up as far as on the roster. I think C-Mac might be one of them, but I'm just saying, I'm talking about them young players. The Horn, the Derek Brown, the Brian Burns. You know what I'm saying? I'm very curious. Dante Jackson. You know, I'm very curious to see the combination right there of who they give up, along with the multiple draft picks. Minimum of 4. I'm just saying. You know, and probably going to take 3 first rounders. I'm just saying. You probably won't have no draft. You probably won't have no first rounders unless you trade, but I think 3 first rounders is a minimum as far as draft picks. 3 first rounders, a second or a third is like a minimum. And then like the 4 picks, right? 3 first rounders, you know, a second or a third. Or you can do a two first rounders, 2 second rounders, and a third. But the players got to make up. You know what I'm saying? So I can't wait, folks. I know everybody's anxious to see, you know, where Deshaun lands, and hopefully he lands with the Bucs. But I'm telling you, if he do, the locker room is open. Folks, we on the same page. You ain't got to like what I say, but trust me, we on the same page. Trust me, we here. So anyway, shouts out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits for joining this channel. I had a good time today. It is sunny outside. I'm finna get out here and enjoy this light. Might even go to the park. I got to get something to eat, though. I'm hungry. Shouts out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. Subscribe to the channel. Like the channel. Share the videos. And don't forget to hit the notification bell icon to notify you all new videos that's posted on this channel. With that being said, folks, it's okay. Free agency starts tomorrow. Kind of sort of, right? So be on the lookout on Twitter. Not Instagram, not Snapchat, not TikTok. Be on Twitter. Be in Facebook, because I'm going to be bouncing around on both platforms. And the minute I get some Bucs news, the minute I get it, I'm opening the locker room up if it's Deshaun Watson. Now, anything else, I'm like, all right, cool. But if it's Deshaun Watson, we're going to have a long conversation in that locker room. Anyway, with that being said, fire those cannons, seize the day, raise the flag, hashtag no risky no biscuit, hashtag facts over feelings, hashtag bombs away, hashtag stay humble, hashtag what does your eyes tell you? Yeah, I do. Hashtag what does your eyes tell you? And hashtag probability versus possibility. BucosLocker out. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Let's hear some news this week, all right? Peace out. Y'all enjoy y'all Sunday. Don't forget, daylight savings time. Don't trip. Set your clocks forward. I'm out.